and Pakistan are in the middle of a hot dispute this morning, triggered by a NATO attack on Pakistani soldiers right near the border between Afghanistan and Pakistan. And today, funerals were held for those 24 soldiers killed. Pakistan's already retaliated by closing a major border crossing. State and Defense Departments issued a joint statement stressing the importance of the U.S.-Pakistani relationship. But the key here, it's a relationship with a nuclear power, and that involves a very delicate diplomatic dance. Joining me right now, Joe Cirincione of the Plowshares Fund. Joe is an expert on nuclear weapons, and we welcome you back to the program. Good morning.
Good morning, Alex.
So this whole situation, Joe, is compounded by the fact that, of course, Pakistan has nuclear weapons. How much does that scare you?
Pakistan is probably the most dangerous country on earth. It has this unique combination of enough material for between 60 and 100 nuclear weapons, an unstable government, Islamic fundamentalist forces active in the military and intelligence apparatus, and major terrorist organizations, including Al-Qaeda, operating within Pakistan territory. This is a situation where Pakistan could turn from a major U.S. ally into our worst nuclear nightmare overnight.
And that would be because would you have concern that nuclear weapons could fall into the hands of terrorists very easily?
Yes, you have three concerns. One, the Pakistan Army guards its nuclear weapons very, very carefully. Security precautions are quite high, but terrorists may be able, with inside help, to penetrate one of the storage facilities and get their hands on nuclear weapons or material. The second concern is that Pakistan shares a border and has tensions with nuclear-armed India. They fought 3 wars in the last 55 years. You're worried about an India-Pakistan war that could develop into a nuclear war. And the third concern is an interrelation of the two. There's some fears that terrorists might provoke an incident with India in order to get the Pakistan Army to mobilize the nuclear weapons, to start operationalize them, disperse them, and in transit make them easier targets for terrorists to get. It's those kind of scenarios that keep experts up at night.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's pretty, now I'm pretty focused on everything you're saying here. Do you think in the wake of this NATO attack, Pakistan could use that as a reason to retaliate against the U.S. in some way?
Well, the tensions with the U.S. and Pakistan have been growing all year. It started with the successful raid that killed Osama bin Laden in Pakistan in May. Now, just in the last week, the U.S. ambassador, from Pakistan to the U.S., Hussein Haqqani, was forced to resign over allegations that he was too close to the U.S. government. And now this is really unprecedented. We've had incidents where NATO forces have killed Pakistani troops in the past, or U.S. forces have. Just last year, 2 were accidentally killed, but 25 soldiers. You saw the video of their Pakistan flag-draped coffins being marched in the funeral just earlier today. It's provoked demonstrations in Karachi. It's causing a split within the government. It's causing a split within the military. Both sides, the U.S. and Pakistan, have firm reasons for keeping the alliance, but this has really stirred up domestic opinion, which is already virulently anti-U.S. inside Pakistan.
Joe, we send Pakistan billions of dollars in aid. What do we get for that money? And do you think there is any legitimate reason to revisit that? Or because of what you're saying, and we don't want to send things into further volatility, we have to keep giving them the money?
I think there is reason to revisit that and to revisit the policy of drone strikes. More than anything else, the drone strikes have stirred up anti-U.S. sentiment.
Which, by the way, we can't use that base any longer, correct?
Right.
From which we used to launch those drone strikes?
The Pakistan government, in retaliation for the NATO airstrike, has ordered the closing of the Shamsi air base that we use, where we have drones based inside in the Baluchistan province of Pakistan that we use to go after targets. Now, some time ago, we actually shifted most operations to drone bases inside Afghanistan, so it's not clear how much harm it would do to close that base. But still, it's been a base, an asset that the U.S. has wanted to preserve. What you're concerned about with Pakistan is basically 3 things. Supply routes to NATO forces inside Afghanistan. 40% of the non-lethal aid to NATO forces in Afghanistan comes through Pakistan. Second, you're concerned about the safety of of their nuclear weapons. You don't want those nuclear weapons falling in the hands of the Haqqani network, Al-Qaeda, other terrorist groups. And third, you're concerned about the relationship with India. You don't want a nuclear war in the South Asian subcontinent. For all those reasons, the U.S. has maintained a military relationship with Pakistan. But at this point, you have to question whether the benefits we're getting are worth the amount of money that we're devoting to Pakistan, and whether this relationship needs some retuning.
Okay, Joe Cirincione, you have an open door to come on back and discuss this anytime. It's pretty sobering. Thank you.
My pleasure.